Jimmy, I think you've got something playing in the background. YouTube might be.
I do?
Yeah, it was coming across the chat. But having said that, g'day, how you going?
Good. How are you?
Good,
Thanks
good,
for having
good.
me on your show and on your channel.
Well, next time I run it, I'm going to see whether or not I can actually stream it on your channel at the same time streaming on ours.
Well, that would be fun.
That'll be real fun. At the moment,
Modern tech.
yeah, well, it is. Um, First of all, back in the chat, just saying g'day to Crystal from Destinations Delight. Michael Ann, Spelt Mama, g'day to you. Kenny, how are you going, buddy? Mate, thank you for sharing us on the Facebook and community tab. We've got Kenny saying, okay, let's bring that up. Kenny's saying good morning to everybody, and he's in the Helping Hands for Cruising side as well. And the good news is he shared out this on his Facebook and YouTube on the community tab. So thank you very much, Kenny, as usual. Well, Jimmy, this is a new one.
Right? Good morning, Michael Ann. How are you? Yeah, this is a first for me, being on your show versus the other way around.
Yeah, well,
you joined us yesterday. So.
I think next time I'm going to try and do another special thing where hopefully I can get into your YouTube channel, and then we can stream on both channels as we should.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. You'll have to let me in on the secret on how to do it. So
I got to figure it. Well, StreamYard allows you to do multiple platforms.
Okay.
So I'm busy using Melon, which is similar. And Melon allows you to use multiple platforms as well. So if I can get in on your channel and my channel simultaneously, we could be running both our lives simultaneously and everybody would be happy.
Perfect. 174 days till Europe.
Nick, yeah, that's Nick. That's Nick. And then Michael Ann is saying she's a wee bit sleepy, but then I read it as a wee bit weepy. Woke up too early. Well,
me too.
We can handle that. I mean, what do you mean woken up too early? It's only 8 p.m.
It's only 8 p.m. where you are because you live in the future.
Oh, that's right.
It's 6:01 Eastern Standard Time here where I'm at. I'm living in your past.
Well, I've got some good news for you. The weather's going to be really great.
Excellent.
Najuma, welcome aboard, Najuma. Nice to have you here.
Hi,
Kenny's
Najuma.
showing off again. He hasn't been to bed yet. Kenny. That's not, mate, that's not that good. You need the sleep. Nick is saying that it is 5:04 where he is, and Michael Ann is saying that's 2 hours too early, just 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Her time, Eastern Standard? You're
no,
not
it
Eastern?
would be. She's is she Mountain Time?
I'm not sure. She's the same as. She's the same time as Crystal. Probably the same time as Nick.
Time. She's Central Time, I believe.
Yeah.
Michael. I'm guessing anyway. They're a little. They're a little further in the past. I'm in the future for them.
She's a Canadian, so we can let her off.
She gets a pass.
Hey, Jimmy, you been on a cruise ship?
I have.
So what was your first cruise?
My first time was, it was 2019, I think. 2019. We took a Caribbean cruise out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And where did we go? We went to the Bahamas, and we went to Mexico.
Oh, wow. So how many cruises have you done?
I've done two. They
So
were
what was
both
this?
Carnival. Both trips to Mexico. The first time, like I said, was out of Fort Lauderdale. We cruised. I have an interest in ancient history, so we went to Tulum, the city, ancient city, Mayan city of Tulum. That was my big excursion. And then, of course, we also toured Freeport in the Bahamas. And then the second time was Carnival as well, but we cruised out of New Orleans.
Do you remember
And
the
that went
ships?
to, one was the Liberty, and one was, I don't remember the name of the other one, I'll be honest. I think one was Liberty. I remember it had a like a U.S. Kind of patriotic theme to it. The Valor, I think. Does that
Oh,
sound right?
okay. Yeah, the Valor's still out there going, doing its stuff.
Yeah, the
Michael
Valor,
Ann,
I think. On.
Michael Ann is saying that she's Eastern Standard Time, but woke up at 4 a.m. Oh, wow.
Oh, she woke up at. Okay, got it.
Kenny, if you want to, in the chat, you can type in exclamation mark TAT, and that would get the Astute Tourist. In fact, I'll do it once just to prove the point, because I hope it works this time. We had issues last time with Stream Elements doing its bit. Oh, here we go. See? It works.
Very nice.
Michael Ann is saying that Meg is on the Valor out of New Orleans this week.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one. The last one I took was the Valor. That was a lot of fun. It was hectic getting out of Boston to try to get there. It was wintertime here, and there was a lot of storms happening. They canceled all the flights out of the airport where we live here in New Hampshire, and we had to spend the evening in Boston to catch an early morning flight to catch the ship. But we were able to make it, so it was just part of the adventure. And then when we came back, we spent 2 days in New Orleans after, because I had never been there. So,
and that's what cruising is all about, is the adventure,
right?
And because I mean, we're in the same boat. Getting on the plane, getting out of Melbourne, and flying into Fort Myers, and then off on to Miami is part of our adventure for our cruise. It'll be the first time we're going.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It'll be the first time we're going on a Carnival ship. All our other cruises have been on Princess.
Now they're owned by the same cruise line. Is that right?
Yep. Carnival owns about 7 to 9 different cruise lines. So it's Carnival, Princess, Holland America, drawn a blank, P&O Australia, P&O UK, Cunard, and a couple of others. So there's some big.
And how many have you been on, Sean?
We've been on 2. We're going on to our 3rd. We would have been on 4, but then this pandemic, that this Voldemort time that we're not supposed to talk about.
Right, the thing we don't talk about too much. I just looked up Carnival Liberty. Yep. It's a Conquest class cruise ship operated by Carnival. It was built in Fincantieri.
Yep.
If I'm saying right.
Yep.
So in Italy, and it was christened by actress Mira Sorvino in 2005. It was the first ship to feature Carnival's Seaside Theater, a 12-foot high and 22-foot wide LED screen located by the midship pool on the Lido deck. It is used to show movies, sporting events, concerts, and other ship programming. So that's the Carnival Liberty. That was the first one I went on.
Now, most of the Carnival cruise ships come out of Fincantieri, so they come out of those shipbuilders.
Must be a very big shipyard there, I'm
Oh, it's
guessing.
a huge operation. Um, they've even got, I think it's them right now that are building. They were in the middle of building the ship for Genting Cruise Lines before Genting went bust. So that's a bit of a sad state of affairs.
I I'm looking forward to taking some more cruises. I don't know when the next one will be. Our I've explained during some of my streams that my wife has a new job,
Mm.
and it's hard for her to get any time off since she's brand new there. And but I'd like to possibly take one next year, maybe the one with James Cantonese going on
That
it. And
I was just going to suggest that cruise because that's going to be an awesome cruise. Are you a snorkeler or a scuba diver?
I am a diver. Yes.
Okay, so Matt from Fantastic Cruising, Matt and Kimbra are both divers, and you could actually, because that's what they would do. They'd go into a port and just go diving. So you could go on their cruise and go in on a diving excursion with them, and have some fun. You'll have on there Meg
Yeah.
will be there. There'll be James and his wife Cindy will be on that cruise. In fact, James is our second recipient from Helping Hands for Cruising.
Yeah.
So you're going to have Meg and Mr. Paul are going to be on there, as well as Troy S will be on that cruise as well. So there's quite a few people going on there. It's going to be a fantastic cruise.
It sounds like a lot of fun. I was very skeptical of cruises before I took the first one. I was always under the impression that jumping on a plane and landing, excuse me, landing on an island or somewhere would be better. I never really thought about cruises. My wife actually took a cruise. She has many siblings, all sisters, and they do trips now and then. And they took a Royal Caribbean cruise, and she told me so much about it. And she's like, "You should really cruise. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it." And her sisters planned on that Liberty, Carnival Liberty. So I said, "Okay, I'll go on it." And honestly, it's very addicting.
Oh, you're not kidding. Let me tell you, you just. I think one of the things he's just going to go to that ship, and his jaw's just going to hit the ground because when he looks at the ship, just A, the size of the thing, B, that the thing can actually float, C, the amount of fun that you're going to have on that thing. And I'll tell you what, he will not have an opportunity to get any sleep because he'll just be taste testing left, right, and center.
Right. I was going to say that he better bring the camera, and I want him to do a review on every bit of food in the main dining room and during the buffet and the late night pizza and guys burgers and all of that. So,
Well, here's an interesting one for you. He's joining us on the chef's table. So there are going to be at least 6 vloggers at the chef's table. There is no way known Kenny will not be able to do a taste test of all 18 courses that we're going to be getting at the chef's table.
you have your work cut out for you, Kenny.
Sure does. He sure does. Hey, Jimmy, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring up a brief short on or a promo on the group cruise that we're having in October, so people can have a look. See, those that are in the chat can join us, and those that want to can actually still join us on the group cruise. So here we go. This is our inaugural group cruise, of which young Kenneth Mr. Oakes is the first recipient. Here we go. Boy, I don't know, Jimmy. It's going to be one of those exciting cruises. Hang on. Yep.
I wish I could go.
Well, you know what? You'll go on the next one.
I will, absolutely. We're definitely going to look into going on the one in the early spring, late winter, early spring. It's March, I believe, right?
It is. It's March the 12th, I believe.
We're going to seriously look into that. Now, the one you're going in October, is that the Horizon?
That is on the horizon.
I was just looking up the stats on the Horizon. It's the 26th vessel in the Carnival fleet. It's the second of their Vista class ships. What else does it say? It gives all the stats about its tonnage and that. That's on this is Wikipedia. It looks like a very, very nice ship. It looks similar to the, well, I don't know. I'm not very hip on the classes, so
the
Vista class.
The Vista class is the largest, was the largest class until the newest one that's busy being built right now comes out. And it is actually, man, you've got almost everything on there. They've got a brewery. They've got about 255 trillion pubs and just as many restaurants. I mean, you walk on that ship, you don't have to eat anything. You can just sniff it. G'day, Dave. How are you, boyki? That's my son, David.
Hi, Dave.
Like I say, you can just...
Hello, David.
Sorry, say again. I interrupted.
I said it was nice to meet your son, David.
Yeah, he's a good kid. I'm proud of him. He's doing amazing things. Yes, so...
Kenny said he can't wait to experience the chef's table. It'll probably make his tongue slap his brain.
Yeah, listen, Kenny's tongue is going to be permanently attached to his brain, let me tell you. There is just so much good food there.
There's Guy's Pig and Anchor Smokehouse. It's a brew house, so that must be the brewery.
That's the brewery, and they're actually brewing beer on board ship. That's
crazy. I can't imagine. Oh, it's like a floating city, honestly.
Yeah. Dave says, nice to meet you too. He's saying good day to the people. And then he said something to Kenny. That's a long and very confused tongue. Sorry, go ahead, Kenny.
I'm just looking at some of the activities that they have on board of the Horizon. They have a Havana Bar, Waterworks, which looks like a kids like water slide.
Yep.
IMAX Theater. They have their Playlist Productions, which is, I guess, a live theater. Of course, the Serenity Adult Only Retreat, which I enjoyed on the last two cruises I was on. It's nice to go up there, and it's a little quiet, and they have their own bar up there. And
now the Serenity on the Princess means something a little bit different.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's an upmarket area where you can go and get peace and quiet. It's got an upcharge.
There is.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a little different from this one. Is similar. It's adult only as well, but I don't believe there's any upcharge or anything for that. So Guy has two things. There's the brew house. Andy has his burger joint.
Correct.
Looks like a Japanese steakhouse. There is, of course, the chef's table, like you spoke about.
Yep.
An Asian kitchen. A seafood shack. Cocina del Capitana, which I'm guessing is Spanish or Mexican.
Italian. So it's the Italian restaurant.
Oh, that's Italian. Okay, yeah. I don't speak either language, so I
Makes two
apologize.
of us.
All the
But
Italians out there.
the at night the cucina has an upcharge. During the day, the lunch is complimentary.
Sounds fantastic.
Oh, it's awesome.
And the now, are you planning any excursions at all, or are you just going to hang in each port, or will you stay on
So
board?
on the first stop, we stop in Aruba, and at that stop, there will be a group of us going on the 10 best sites in Aruba, and that's a cruise ship sponsored excursion. Excuse me. And then on when we go into Bonaire, there's a group of us. We're hiring some of those golf carts, and we're going to be driving around Bonaire. Now, I'm actually going to be teaching everybody how to drive on the correct side of the road, whilst everybody else will get it all wrong. But that's okay.
Yes, yeah. You folks drive on the left side of the road,
That's correct. You drive on the right.
and that's the right side. It's the right.
That's correct. That is the right
It's the
side of the
right
road.
way, it's the right side.
We drive on the correct.
I don't think I would have a tough time driving on either side. It's all the same.
Yep.
It's all the same.
It's just about getting the mind in the right place.
As long as you don't drive on the sidewalks.
Hang on. That's the best way to keep death off the roads.
This is true. Yeah, that could be nasty though. Driving on the sidewalk.
That's true.
You may not get off the island. You'll get some other accommodations.
Yeah, but at least that'll be free and three good meals. No, sorry.
Right. So Aruba, it's interesting because we just adopted a dog from Aruba.
Oh yeah. What'd you get?
We adopt. They're a breed of dog called an Arubian Canuku.
Okay.
And they're very cute dogs. They're most of the dogs that at least that you can adopt there are street dogs that are born almost through feral dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they have quite a problem with feral dogs there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's several groups at these humane societies that will get the puppies, and because I guess they have a bunch of kill shelters there, so these folks will take the puppies, they'll get them their shots and get them healthy, and then they find what they call forever homes for them. So we just adopted a 5-month-old female about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
She just happened to be an European Canuku. We had no idea what she was. She was just going to be a new pet for us, but it was interesting to read a lot about the type of dog that she is. So who knows? You may see some of those feral dogs running around when you're there.
Is she home with you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's here. She's downstairs. So we have two dogs.
How's she handling the move?
I think she handled it fairly well because we didn't get her straight off the plane from Aruba. I think she came here. I don't know how old she was, but we adopted her in Boston, actually. There was a foster family that had her and another one, and they were in Boston for some time. So I think she at least had a little time to adjust to being in a new place, or at least a new climate. They're very, used to the heat, which right now is a good time because it's been so hot here in New England. I don't think there was too much of a change for her other than it being so humid, possibly. But Michael Ann says a Ruby and Kanuku looks very cute. Yeah, they are very cute dogs. I'm not sure how big this one's going to get. Right now, she's tiny. She only weighs about maybe 15 or 20 pounds or so, so she's small. And the Labrador that we have is 70 pounds, so it's quite a contrast with the two dogs. But you may see some of those dogs, and they all look very similar. A lot of them are tan color. There are some others that are dark brown and black, but they have distinctive ears and distinctive tails.
How does Molly get on with her?
Molly, in the beginning, I think, so we had Molly for 5 years before we had another dog. When we got Molly as a puppy, we did have a black lab, an older one. But for at least the last 3 years, Molly has been ruling the roost, so to speak, and she's been the only one. So when we took her to meet Sophie as the new dog, she was all happy, right? Hey, we're on a field trip. Look at these dogs. I'll make friends. Well, when we put Sophie into the car with Molly, Molly gave us a look like, what are you doing? And we had that look for several days after. Like, what are you doing? Why is this other dog here? But now they get along famously. So they play together and they sleep together and they get along very well. So
if you have the opportunity, there's a YouTube channel based in Oz. G'day, Painting with Squirrels. It's called The Farm. And this guy and his wife, they set up a farm in outback New South Wales, where they where what they do is they originally they had like a doggy daycare, but what they've done from now on is they look after rescued animals, so rescued dogs, and try and bring them out of the shelter and try and get them in a way that they are most likely to be rehomed. So that's what they do. G'day.
Sorry.
I just said g'day. Excuse me.
Hi, Shirley. How are you? Yeah, I think it's a great thing that these folks do that. I think it's a very good thing that they're doing by adopting these animals, and not just dogs, but cats and birds, and giving them a life that they deserve, and not being able to, end up in a shelter or kill shelter for the most part.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing. When we found out, we've rescued dogs. The last two dogs that we had prior to Molly were both rescues, and they were both Labradors.
Mm-hmm.
We did get Molly from a breeder, just because we wanted a chocolate lab at the time. So we went through the breeder to get her. But we went back to rescuing because I just think it's the right thing to do. There's so many pets out there, so many animals that deserve a good home, and they deserve to be cared and loved. And
Absolutely.
For the most part, these animals aren't. There's only a couple things that they want out of life, and it's to be loved and have a warm bed and a nice meal, and to be cared for. So I think it's very important people do that. So
just saying g'day to Dawn. She's on the other icon of hers. Michael Ann is saying that her son's dog is a rescue, came to Canada from Alabama.
Yes. Yeah, in the southern part of the United States, there are a lot of animals that they are rescued there as well. In fact, so you need to be vetted when you talk to these rescue groups. They want to vet you. So we were part of several And there was one where the first one that we started contacting, their pets come from, or their dogs come from the southern part of the U.S. But the Arubian group, they reached out to us first and said that they thought they had found one that would be right for us, and they were right. That happened to be Sophie. So,
oh, that's awesome. Michael Ann is having a bit of a giggle there because she says it's her son's dog, but the dog spends time with her. Hey, let's be honest. Let's be honest, Michael Ann. We know who feeds it, right? G'day, the Sandvan. How are you?
Van, how are you? It's funny because they do pick one person, I think, that they, I guess, consider them as the alpha.
Yep.
And they will attach themselves, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Gravitate.
Gravitate's a good word. When we got Molly, she was 7 weeks old. And the last two Labrador retrievers that we had, they looked at me as the alpha. And Colleen was, she was very, she wanted to make Molly hers, and the dog was going to attach herself to Colleen. And Colleen spent every minute with that dog and hugging and loving it, and Molly still attached herself to me. So it's funny how that works.
It is.
But which is fine. Colleen loves them all just the same, and I think they spend enough time with both of us. So
thank you for that, Molly's Dawn. Thank you very much for doing that. Really appreciate that. You'll find that Molly's always going to be the boss.
Yeah, yeah,
at
I
least
think so.
Attempt to be anyway.
You know, the puppy tries to assert herself at times, but Molly does definitely put her in her place. So, but it's fun. It's interesting. It's we haven't had a puppy in the house in 5 years, and going back to the house training and that was certainly a familiar challenge that we haven't had in a while. But she's actually doing really well. We haven't had too many issues with her. She doesn't chew things up. We have plenty of toys. It's like we have a little kid in the house.
Michael Ann is saying pre-pandemic, our humane society was bringing like 40-ish at the time from Alabama, Mississippi area. Since the Voldemort virus, they've been getting many from Northern Ontario in Canada. So that's interesting.
Very interesting.
G'day, Bill. How you going, buddy? Nice to have you on board. Great live you had last night. Please have a safe day. Oh, we've got Josh. G'day, Josh from Moonlight Adventures. How are you, buddy? Nice to have you,
Josh.
Now.
Good morning.
Sorry, say that again, please.
I said good evening and good morning.
Yeah. Josh is everywhere. His time zone is all over the place. As we were saying before, thinking about Kenny, what got you interested in the helping hand side of things?
I'll be honest, I had no idea about it. And then I have a mutual friend of some of us. I don't know if you know, this morning fog is killing me. Goodness me. We talked about this yesterday. I have to have,
we did.
I have to have some. Tomorrow I'm going to have that taken care of. So Greg for Fit for Expedition. I don't know if you know.
Oh,
Greg
yeah. Yep.
So he's the one that told me about it in early spring when you had the first cruise-a-thon.
Yep.
And he asked me if I would sign up for a slot of it, and I jumped right on the chance. I I'm all about giving back and helping out. That's one of the things that I like to do. I think it's important that we all do something like that. So that's how I discovered you folks, and that's when I ended up meeting you and some of the others that were doing it. So that's how I found out about it. And now that I'm doing it, I think it's just something we're going to continue to do as long as we can. So, and one of these days, I'll hopefully be able to participate in an actual cruise.
Well, the good news is March is the second cruise, so that will be a great one to participate in. Because we'll have James Catanese and his wife Cindy on there. So that will be awesome. You'll also be in fine company with Matt and Kimbra from Fantastic Cruising, as well as your esteemed and our esteemed moderator, Meg, and her beau by the name of Paul, and also Troy will be on board there. So that's going to be an awesome cruise. And I believe that there are a few other people that are going on board as well. So they've currently got about 8 cabins booked right now. So that's an exciting one.
I wouldn't be surprised if John and Nancy from JNN Travels signs up for that one as well. I know they're going on the October one, but they love to cruise, so I wouldn't be
surprised if there were a number of people going on that one. It will be a fun cruise.
Well, and you never know. Kenny may end up falling in love with the October cruise so much he'll sign up for the March one.
Oh, you never know. You never know. And g'day V, how are you? Sorry, Bidet V, how you going?
Bidet.
You know what it is. You know what it is, Jimmy. These Canadians can't say g'day, so they have to say bidet. You know, it's
a bidet is something else where I come from.
Yeah, same here. But then you know that V is French, so
she is French. Good morning, V. How are you? It's good to see you.
She just drove in the parking lot.
Just drove in my parking lot. Okay. Tomorrow she has her live, I think at 6:45 EST. So one of the reasons why I'm here with you today on Wednesday is because every morning I do a live at 6:20 EST, and these conflicting lives sometimes. We wanted to try to fix that so that we could kind of share the time per day. So I'm here in the evening. I'm in Australia right now in the evening.
Isn't that nice? Dawn is saying, just to let you all know, even though on brain rest, she will be going live on New Beginnings later, 9:30 a.m. Central, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, 10:30 Eastern Standard. Jeez.
Yes, 10:30. I'll be sitting at my desk at work by that time, so don't tell anybody. I may be lurking. Let's say I'll be lurking.
You know. They say things about people who lurk.
Don't tell.
I'm not
lurking from.
I think I'll just have my coffee from my merch cup. Shameless promotion.
Yep, I do mine as well. Your cup will be the next one that I purchase. I just bought JNN's, and once I get that in the mail, I'm going to your store and I'll be buying your cup next. So I'm going to have quite a collection.
We've just both been. I mean, I've just been admonished, and we've been given a joiners. Now, V is saying that lurkers are awesome.
Thank you, V. Some of us lurk as we drive. 2 hands on the wheel. Lurking is fine.
Yep. That's okay.
2 hands on the wheel or Sean's students that he trains will have to work. They'll
That's
have to go
correct.
into action.
Either that,
Yep.
or your colleagues over here will have to come and cut the car open to get you out of it.
Correct. And we don't want that. Nobody
So, what sort of
wants
a day
that.
are you going to have today?
Let's see, midweek. Oh, it's actually Hump Day. I forgot all about that, but this is normally our Hump Day celebration in the morning. My day is going to be mostly office work. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm out in the field. I spent a good part of the day outside doing fire prevention stuff. Today, I will be catching up on things, probably contacting clients, going playing phone tag with my messages. I review codes and that, and a lot of people, contractors and builders and that, contact me 24 hours a day. So I'm sure I'll have a voicemail message list of people to contact and help steer them in the correct direction so that they follow the law. That's usually how my day goes.
Talking about celebration, today's actually a celebration. New Zealand just opened its doors to cruising.
Awesome.
So, the southern region, or the Asiana region, is now back on track. Ships can go everywhere. So, if you're sick and tired of looking at Australia, you can always jump on a ship and go from Australia to New Zealand and back again.
How far away is Australia from New Zealand?
In a plane flight, we're looking at about a 3.5 hour plane flight. On a cruise ship, it's a 3-day sailing to get there and 3 days back.
And have you been to New Zealand?
Yep. Our first cruise went from Melbourne to New Zealand on the Golden Princess, as it was then, and it's now that ship is no longer with the Princess line. It has now been bought by P&O Australia, and it has been refurbished, and they call it now the Pacific Encounter, I think. So that one is going to come back into I think it's Sydney first up, and then from there dispensed around the place. Stream Elements is saying, welcome to Hump Day with the Down Under Cruisers. Please support our channel so that we can support Helping Hands for Cruising.
Yes, yes.
Jimmy, you're welcome on board there as well. Having assisted in the cruisathons and raised some dollars for us, which has been awesome. So much so that we've been able to afford to put 2 recipients on board a ship, with a 3rd one in the wings.
Well, and folks need to remember too that they don't have to wait for a cruisathon to be able to donate. You can go to the PayPal link and follow that QR code that you can see right above Sean. That'll take you right to PayPal, and any amount is welcomed. Of course, there's no amount that's too little. So if you want to give throughout the year, I think it's an important thing, because we're going to try to get enough together so we can get our 3rd recipient.
Oh, that's right. We've got a recipient in mind for September for a ship that's going out of Southampton and doing the Mediterranean. But we're looking for, and that's September next year, not this year, next year. And we're looking for more recipients anywhere else around the world, as long as we can get a cruise out of that area. So the best way to do that, folks, if you've got somebody you want to nominate for the position of being a recipient, first of all, the rules are very simple. The person has never had the opportunity to cruise, one reason or another. And so all we need is a video, and that video is you nominating the recipient. We don't want the recipient to nominate themselves. We want somebody to nominate the recipient, and that gives everybody a fair go. That then gets sent into the board of Helping Hands for Cruising. You can do that either by going into the Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube channel and looking in the descriptions, or else just email me, and we will get it, the Down Under Cruises at bigpond.com, and we will be able to get that to the board, and the board will then have a look at it, at the video, and yes or no. More likely it's yes if the candidate deserves it, and they will be on board the ship, the next cruise that's available out of their town.
Perfect. You're doing a great thing, Sean. You and your group are doing a good thing for folks.
Well, thank you. We've got good support, people like you, you know, and we need more in all avenues. We certainly need more. But my goal is that we have 15 cruises a year with 15 recipients all around the world. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be awesome. Well, you have to start somewhere, right?
Exactly.
And so far you have, and possibly 3 and
Yep.
and counting. So it's great. You know, in the business that I'm in, and you as well, we're giving back. You as an educator and myself working in public service, we're helping people every day, but there's so much more that we can do. I think providing things, you know, that people need, and providing something like you're doing, which it's providing people to be able to have a vacation, a lot of fun, a dream that they may have never been able to experience, or was never on their radar. To be able to do that for somebody, I think is a great thing. You know what? On my channel, I talk about positive mental attitude and helping people and just giving them a smile and a hug. And this goes well beyond that. You're not just making someone's day, but you're making their week and possibly even their year for them, because you're giving them the opportunity to do something that they probably never dreamed that they could ever do. So I think it's a fantastic thing. So
Absolutely. We've got
so don't
Lorraine.
forget, follow that QR code, and like I said, no amount is too small.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do we have a plan for another cruise-a-thon, maybe in the winter or the fall? Or
We're planning another cruise-a-thon, and we just got to set a date for it. It's actually in our calendar. Like, we want to have one every 3 to 4 months, so that way we can get some more funds in. Lorraine is saying g'day to everybody. Josh is saying that he loves the mission of the Helping Hands for Cruising. Thank you very much, Josh. We are thrilled that you feel that way. I was going to say something, but you sidetracked me there. Which, you know, you have that morning fog. I have that extremely good forgettery. The two work hand in hand.
that's CRS.
That's it.
CRS disease. Do you know what that is?
Give it to me.
Can't remember. Can't remember
Oh, yeah.
S.
Yeah. Yep. I do suffer with that. Actually, it's quite funny. I start a class. People walk in and I go, "G'day, folks. How you going? Your name is," and the class give me the list of their names, and then by the time I've gotten to the end, I've forgotten who's the first one. So it's like, yeah, right.
I'm the same way. As a performer, being a musician, and I perform, I meet a lot of people, and I'll see people that return, you know, to another show, and they're like, "Hey, do you remember me?" And I'm like, "I remember your face, but I don't remember your name."
That's what I say all the time. I remember what you were wearing, but I can't remember your name.
They're like, "Hey, you! It's good to see you again.
Yeah.
Good to see you." And I'll say to Colleen, "I'm like, who is that person?"
Ilana looks at me and she goes, "You're terrible, Muriel."
Brain farts. That's what
That is it.
Shirley's saying.
That
Brain
is
farts,
it. That is it.
for sure.
So, for those that are on the Helping Hands for Cruising board, don't forget on Saturday we have the board meeting. And I say Saturday because it gives us a general time. Those of you that are across the pond, it's 7 a.m. for you. Those of you that are on our side of the pond, it's 10 p.m. at night. So it gives everybody a good opportunity to get in there and have some fun. Now, Lorraine is saying that the waitresses remember your drink and order, but not names.
Yeah. Well, they know. They want
Well,
the drink is more important than the name because that helps them get their tips too. So.
that's right. Michael Ann says she hates it when she can remember all the details about something or someone, but can't remember their name or a word for the life of me.
Yes, I do too.
G'day, Cheryl. How are you?
Especially
Nice
when.
to have you on board.
Hi, Cheryl. I was thinking about Lorraine. She's going to be taking Kenny to Disney World after the cruise.
Man, Kenny, we have a saying, right? It goes like this: Kenny has landed with his bum in the butter. He gets a free cruise, and then he goes to Disney World. I've never been to Disney World, but he gets to go to Disney World, and let me tell you, his tongue is still going to slap his brain because there'll be all that food to try and taste.
Sean, you should go to Disney World. You're going to be so close.
No, can't. Got to be back. Lorraine, we leave in 56 days.
56 days.
Yep.
But who's counting?
Me. I mean, all you got to do is
Right?
all you got to do is look at our channel for the last 6 months.
Yeah, a lot of folks have been they're excited for this trip, and I don't blame you one bit.
Well,
I'm excited for you.
if you think about it, the last vacation we had was 1,631 days ago.
I like how you think. You're counting the days, so many days.
Well, it's easier doing it that way than thinking, shit, we just lost 2 years.
Right? Trying to think of when my last real vacation was. It's been a while. It's probably when we went on the Valor out of New Orleans. We've taken small little trips here, but I don't consider them a holiday as compared to those. So,
especially when you're running your own business, you don't have an opportunity to get away. So this is this is going to be a month, and then we get back into town, and then my nephew gets married. So that's another big thing. So have to be back for that.
there's so much that in life you need to do. So.
Michael Ann is saying that her last vacation was April 2019. Lorraine is saying that the last cruise was 12 years ago. Well, I'm glad yours is being fixed. Dawn is saying that hers was honeymoon, never likely again as can't afford a passport. Really? That's not good.
Maybe we'll have to have a passport-a-thon for Dawn.
Yeah, maybe.
She's trying to get me to come to Cyprus, so I may have to plan to Cyprus to visit her. So
the question is this: what passport would she be on? Is it still the UK passport, or is it the Cyprus passport?
well, that's a good question, Dawn. Are you still a I guess it's where your citizenship is, right?
That's right.
So yeah, are you still a UK citizen, or are you a full-fledged citizen of Cyprus? Too many health issues to travel, she says.
Cheryl is saying that her last cruise was NOC 2022. I'm sorry, Cheryl, brain fart, but I can't figure out what the NOC stands for. But I'm pretty sure that it would have been a great trip, great cruise. And Dawn is saying that it's English, that's why it's so expensive.
Your last cruise was November 2022.
I think, Cheryl, that should be 2021. Would you agree?
I was going to
See,
say she's living way in the future than you are, if that's the case.
yeah, but the funny thing is she's based in the US, so that bothers me.
Right?
Michael Ann has agreed with that statement.
Right, in the future.
Jimmy, I'm just mindful of the time for you. It is
Oh, goodness. Thank you, sir.
1 minute to shut down for you.
It is. I need to get ready for that nasty word we call work.
Actually, I have a different thing about that word. Even though it does not give you a choice, and it has got the or in the middle. I look at it this way: I appreciate it so that I can afford to cruise.
That's a really good way to look at it. And honestly, I love my job. It does get in the way of certain scheduled events, but I can think of far worse things I could be doing to make money. And I've been at it for almost 40 years, so there's something about it I must like.
There must be.
Yes. I want to thank you for having me on today. I appreciate it.
Jimmy, it's a pleasure. I mean, look, if we can't work together, then how can we make things work in general? And so I look at you, and you're doing a time slot that basically feeds into mine. We've got more or less the same people joining us, and then we've got to make them choose whose channel is going to go on to. Why not just combine it? And let's look at a way that we can
I agree.
cost out of both.
And on, I need to get with Call Me V too, because she does hers on Monday mornings and Thursday mornings. So I may end up going a little bit earlier on the Monday or Thursday, and then that way we can be done before she starts hers, and then we can jump right over to hers. But
Yep.
But we'll figure it out. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. And
It's a pleasure.
I will not be up tomorrow morning. Usually I'm up every morning at 6:20 a.m. Tomorrow I am going to take care of, hopefully figure out what this brain fog is that I have.
Well, just hoping you are healthy.
Oh, thank you. I don't think it's anything more than what we talked about yesterday. I think it's just adjusting some medication to and get that straightened out. But I will be back bright-eyed and bushy-tailed Friday morning at 6:20 a.m. And I hope to see you all there. And again,
Awesome.
Thank you, Sean and Ilana, for letting me be part of your day. And I think you're going to come over to mine next Wednesday, right?
We will be over to yours on next Wednesday. Just one thing, V says, sure, Jimmy, let's chat.
Absolutely. So I guess that'll be it for me. So I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to head to work. So thank you.
Pleasure. And, nice to have you on board. And yours, positive PMA. Have a
PMA, positive mental attitude.
Day.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Take care. And folks, that brings us to the end of our stream today. Unfortunately, with this cough and voice of mine, I feel it's about time that I just gave it a rest. Lance, welcome aboard, buddy. Just coming into the tail end of our show. just want to thank you all for coming on board, folks. And once again, 72 days to a new cruise. Take care, folks. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you on Friday night at 10 p.m. For those on our side of the pond, it'll be brunch with the Down Under Cruisers. Take care. Have an awesome day, and we'll catch you later. Bye now.